In today's tutorial, we're gonna be making this summer shirt with a crochet collar. This one pattern that I actually really enjoyed, so you should make for yourself because it looks really pretty, and I'm gonna put a video here of me wearing it. It was originally made using cotton 8-ply yarn, but I know a lot of people find it hard work with cotton on their machines, so you can really use any yarn of your preference to make this shirt, okay? So this shirt can be made for winter as well. You just need to make longer sleeves, and then it's a winter pattern that you can use double knit acrylic yarn or whatever your favorite yarn is. Just be aware that the length might change a bit. You don't need to make any changes on the width or the number of stitches that I'm using here, okay? I have in the pattern calculated from sizes extra small to large, so that's the sizes you can make, just because on the back I have one panel only, and if you want to make extra large or double XL, you're gonna need 2 panels on the back, okay? Which is fine because this back panel is really a square panel, okay? So square panel, I didn't decrease for sleeves or anything, okay? So it's just a square. I'm gonna show you, what I'm going to show you now, it's how to make this neck cut here, just because you really need this neck cut for the shirt collar to look like that after. Okay, you can't really make it straight all the way to the top. And so I'm gonna be showing you how I made this panel only, and then how I put all the shirt together after. Okay, so let's get into it. So these are the panels we'll be making. A 45 stitches one with 88 rows on the back. This is a size medium, okay? And 31 stitches, 231 stitches for the front, 2 sleeves with 40 rows each. Here is wrong because I made it shorter before, I prefer a little longer. And so I'm gonna be making one of these. They are mirrored, okay? So one of them I'll be decreasing on the beginning of the row, the next one I'm gonna be decreasing at the end of the row. So let's start this first one. I like to start with a little bit of waste yarn and cast on 31 stitches. Guys, if you don't know how to make panels, I have a panel course in my knittingmachinepatterns.com website, where you can learn how to make panels before you make all these garments, okay? It's really useful if you can purchase it and learn, because you can make so many things in these machines and so fast. And so, and all my patterns are here. You can access them anytime you want in my YouTube channel. And I also have written versions for each one of my patterns that you can purchase on knittingmachinepatterns.com if you want them printed, okay? So I'm going to make 4 rows. And then leave a long tail so you can seam the sides of this shirt after. And work now 72 rows. Now your counter is not gonna work, so you have to have a tap app, or you're gonna just count manually by memory. So 72 rows here, straight, no decreasing. And then I'm gonna show you how to make the collar cut for the neck. Now here I'm at the end of row 71, so I made 71 rows. And on the way back, on row 72, And this for this side, okay? On the other side, I would have to stop here on row 72. So let's do that. So row 71, make your way back. And when you count 10 stitches here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, remove the yarn, and these 10 last stitches, they will have to be released from the needles so we can start the neck cut. Secure them like this, and they are the beginning of the neck cut. So if we were on the other side, what would have to happen is we make the row number 72 all the way to the end, and then on row 73 at the end you release the 10 last stitches on this side, okay? This way they're gonna be mirrored. So make your way back. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make these two next rows. And then here now I'm going to release 3 needles, and I'm going to decrease 3 extra stitches so my neck cuts round. I explained this a few times. We're just decreasing 1 stitch every second row in this situation here until I have 18 stitches left. So remove the 3 stitches, put the second one back in, put the third one on top of the second one, and put the first one in the next peg. Put them all down on the bottom, and then make the next row. So don't forget to keep counting the rows, because at the end we will have to have 88 rows, like we have exactly the same amount we had on the back panel, okay? Now we should have here 18 stitches left for this size, and now just remove, just make a row without the yarn. And remove all the stitches from the needles. And now we are going to put all the pieces together before we finish, as I always do. Just match stitch all the pieces. I'm gonna show you quickly and then finish with crochet this time, okay? Now these are my 2 pieces finished. As you can see, they are mirrored to each other. And then we're gonna fix it. They're just like looking weird right now, but we're going to fix that after with the crochet around both pieces. It's gonna be around here and here and here. We're gonna crochet this. So now we are going to join this using the mattress stitch halfway up here. Just where the sleeves go, you can place markers if you want. I normally just go halfway with the mattress stitch so I can finish the bottom, and then I put the sleeves just at the end of the project, okay? And then after this, I'm going to show you how to seam the top of it. And so let's get started, and with the mattress stitch on the side. So let's grab this first panel here, place them side by side, and just choose a stitch where you're gonna work up this way. You can either the first stitch or the second one. I'm going to choose this one just because it looks a little better, okay? And just if the threads on one of the sides, just go to the opposite side first and then pass through it here. And then because this row looks a bit funny, I'm going to start on this row, the second stitch here, and just in between them 2 rows at a time, and then grab the next 2. I did this a few times so it's nothing new, and then the 2 on the other side. So I'm gonna go halfway up, and don't forget you need the place for the sleeves. That's why I'm just doing all the way to here, and then just leave the yarn open, just leave the tail there, because we're going to be using the same tail later to seam the sleeves. Now after I seam the sides together, I left a space for the sleeve here, and now I'm gonna seam the shoulder, the shoulder part, okay? So with the yarn tail I had left in one of the sides on the top, I'm going to start going from there where I was to the other side, and here what I'm going to do is go through the middle of the first one, and so top, bottom, and bottom, top of the second one, and remove forward from the needle. The reason why I have this circular needle here is because I had to grab some stitches from the bottom that got tucked from some reason, just because cotton, that happens sometimes. And now here I'm going to grab this stitch, again, in the middle from the bottom, the top to the bottom, and the next one from the bottom to the top, always taking care not to twist them. This is the graft stitch. I made this stitch a few times in other projects before. Make sure it's tight enough. And then here, top to the bottom, and the bottom of the next one to the top. So each stitch we're gonna work 2 times. Now I'm going to work on this last one that I worked just before, and the next one, forming the same shape, the same V shape with the needle, as you can see here. All the way, we're gonna do this all the way until we finish these stitches here, okay? And then we're gonna have some stitches left in the middle, and that's gonna be, you can work the ribbing on the back of the neck. So I'm gonna finish this here, and then it's gonna look like this at the end. As you can see, it's hard to see the stitches because it just makes the same stitch to join them. So right now this is what we have, and now with this done, we can start making crochet all around the piece. On the left side, looking to the right side of your work, okay? You can see the stockinette stitch here, this is the right side. And so I'm using my crochet hook, this 3 millimeters. You can use until 4 and it's the same result. And pull it through that first stitch. I'm going to be always working this way, so I'm going to grab the second part of this loop this way, yarn over, pull through, and then into the next one, yarn over, pull through. Be careful not to make it too tight, okay? And then to the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. And so just repeat this around the bottom, and then I'll come back after removing the waste yarn to make the sides here, okay? So I finished all the bottom, and that's how it looks like now. I would probably make this shirt a little longer, maybe just a little bit, not much. So if I change the pattern a bit, it's just because of that, okay? It's just on the length. But I'll measure later for you guys to see how long it is. So I'm going to go to the very next stitch, this little V here. I'm using always the same stitch going up, and I'm going to put my hook through, pull it, and make a single crochet. Okay, and then on the very next one I'm going to skip, and the next one I'm going to make a single crochet again. I'm skipping rows, so it's the crochet, it's not longer than the knitting. That's why I skip. So I'm skipping this one here, and I'm making the single crochet on the very next one, always in that same stitch. So just repeat that. I think that's good enough like it is now. Okay, they have both a similar length of stitch with the length of the row, of the knitted row. So skip one and then don't on the next row. Okay, so I'm going to be repeating this stitch all the way until I reach the next corner, where I'm going to bind off the same way I did on the bottom. Now I got here to that first corner. I'm going to pull that waste yarn a little so it's right there at the end, and then I'm going to pull through this first stitch and make them two together. Pull through the second one and slip stitch, slip stitch, and just repeat that until I reach the end of these stitches. This is the neck part. Then remove this, and we're going to start working on the sides again. We need to make sure this is gonna look, this is not gonna look that bad. So I'm going to work in this row here, and I'm going to make this very first knitted stitch here with single crochet. Then skip one, go to the next one, single crochet. And then just repeat what we just did. Probably a good idea to do the same thing, skip every second row. So keep repeating these stitches all the way to this bottom part here, and then we're gonna start the second row on the bottom. And then getting here to the next corner, we're going to, you can either single crochet, half double crochet or double crochet. I'm thinking I'm going to double crochet here. So you can chain two and start making double crochets in each stitch. So just double crochet in every single stitch all the way through the bottom of this shirt. Now I double crochet all around the bottom. It looks really, really nice now. It's getting some shape. And now I'm going to chain two from the last stitch on the corner of the bottom, and then I'm going to double crochet in the middle of the double crochet. I decided to double crochet at the end just to keep it, you know, the same stitch all around it, and just double crochet, one double crochet in each stitch. So this is how our top looks like. I did stop here because I didn't want to make another row like this. We are going to work the neckline after. So I'm gonna finish this side here with just simple double crochets, just because I want to add buttons here on the top. So guys, smash the like button if you like my tutorials. That helps me to grow on YouTube search and reach more people with my tutorials. Thank you. Start this collar of the shirt. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start right here on the first knitted stitch, and we are going to be working double crochets. So just chain two on the beginning and just double crochet along each double crochet on the top, just like we did before. And we're gonna change this on the second row. We gotta repeat this all the way to the other side and just stop in that same spot. We're not gonna make over this. Just stop right here with your last stitch, and then I come back to show the next row of this ribbing. Okay, so this is my first row here, and now I'm going to turn to work the first ribbing row. So I'm going to make 2 chains to turn here, and then another stitch here just to increase. So I'm going to increase on both ends only, just to make that shape of the collar, like same shape as the collar of a shirt. I'm going to make one more here, and then I'm going to front post 1. I'm gonna make 2. I made this stitch before, so you might know from my other designs. I think it's just easier than make the ribbon that goes the other way. So it is 2 double crochets. So 2 double crochets, 1 front post. You go this way, just behind the stitch, pull it, and just make a normal double crochet. And then just go straight to the next one. And repeat again, so it's a very easy stitch. I'm gonna go all the way to the other side and then come back with you on the 3rd row. Okay, end of the next row. And now here, like I said, I'm going to make 2 on the 2 stitches on the stitch before the last one. So 1 and 2 here. And the last stitch is gonna be where on the 2nd chain from the beginning here. Okay, and then I'm gonna chain 2 just to turn the work. I haven't made a collar like that before, so I'm just trying. And so, okay, increase 1 more here on the beginning of the 3rd row. And then double crochet. We will have to double crochet a few more on the beginning of the rows before the front post. Okay, the next row we can make a front post before this one, but because we have to make 2 before we have the front post, we wouldn't have space here. So I'm going to make my last double crochet here, and instead of front post now, because we want the stitch always on this side, we are going to make the back post, which is go on the back of the stitch like this, and then you pull your double crochet. So when we look at the design, it's always the front, the post is always the cable stitch, let's say, is always on the front. So when we fold this way, it's going to be in the front of the work. So we are going to make back post this time, and then double crochet 2, like just like we were doing before, and then again back post the next stitch. So repeat this around, and then you can make a few more rows of this. We are going to be always making that post stitch on the front, so we can turn later and have our collar looking like this. I'm thinking about 5 rows should be enough, but I'll come back with you on the next row just to explain the beginning here, okay? Now 4th row, guys, and now I'm going to change 2 chains here to turn, and now I'm going to change is add another one of, so again increase a stitch, making 1 stitch in this first little space here, and then let's see, I need to front post here already because I need a space of 2 in between the next front post, and I'm going to make the same thing on at the end of this row as well on the other side. So here it is for you to have a better look on what I'm doing, and then all the rest you're gonna really repeat the same thing. So I'm going to make one more row after this, and then I'm gonna check the size. Make sure you try it on while you make it, just to make sure this is right. I'm going to do one or two more because I'm happy with the size, but if you want to keep going, make it longer, it's up to you, okay? So I'll come back when I finish this. So this is the color of the shirt after I finish, so you guys can have a better look of how it looks like. I made 6 rows and I think it's just right this size. As you can see, I increased here on the edges a bit to make that collar shape, and it looks pretty good to me, okay? It worked really well. So now let's make the sleeves. So I had to remake the sleeves because I thought they were a bit too short, so I remade the tube on my Sentro 40 with 40 rows, okay? Now I'm just gonna bind off the stitches. You don't need to make the loops too loose because we want this a little bit more closed than the tube itself. A little smaller, just because this is gonna be a little ribbing on the bottom of each sleeve. Slip stitch in the first stitch, chain 2, and just double crochet in each stitch. So repeat this all around, finish with a slip stitch here, and this is our edging for the sleeves. Make it on both sleeves, and then we are just going to seam this to the rest, to the body of our shirt. Now grab the sleeve and measure, see if the hole you left before it's enough for the, it's similar to the size of the sleeve. Okay, and then I like to put the beginning here, see where this is, where the tail is. Always like to put this down there like this. This shirt definitely needs to be blocked because it's all twisted. Anyway, I'm going to start right here. So guys, this is how our shirt looks like. I'm gonna show you how it looks like wearing it. It's I think it's one of my favorites so far. It's really, really nice. It looks really cool. If you like this pattern, make sure you smash the like button so I get shared more times on the Google search app or YouTube search, and I can reach more people with my patterns. I'm in love with this one, guys. And I also made a really easy wrap shorts to match with this. You can make the wrap shorts using the same yarn that you use for this, just to make a matching set if you want. Thank you for watching, guys, and I see you on the next tutorial.